beautiful,
elegant,
intelligent,
capable,
loving.
Reading from my book, I Know a Woman, which was nominated for the Pulitzer Prize in 1977. I want to read the title poem called I Knew a Woman. And I would say that the title comes from a poem by our great poet Theodore Retke by the same title. He wrote a wonderful poem called I Knew a Woman. It starts out, I knew a woman lovely in her bones. You need to get that poem and read it. I want to read my I Knew a Woman. I knew a woman, and she was violet shadows touched with honeydew. And she was woman, everything that Lilith knew. I knew a woman, and she moved like flower love, burned by the sun, and she was woman, timeless when dawn is done. I knew a woman, and she was wind in clover, blowing bees insane, and she was woman, loved by ancient rain. I knew a woman carved from love-dipped stone, soft as gentle flame, and she was woman, woman was her name. The day of my love. At 5, I rise to sprinkled sun, thinking dream shadows spilled like morning webs along the early traces of my mind. And I count the throbbing minutes, beating like rain in solitude. At 6, I watch black ink made horses. This the day of roses. Coffee is brown, warm on my tongue, slipping down near the whispers of your name, said twice in the twilight. At 7, I have called the pages back again, but now they are blank, under images just slipped from yesterday, and yellow streaks fall on my closed eyes, and the tulips bloom red. At 8, I've watched my hands till they are no longer mine, but some mystery beyond 10, forwards and backwards, and off into the distance. At 9, I've thought the black phone 100 times, and will again before night draws over. In the streets at 10 is my walking by the flowers, gathering up moments wet in my memory, rivers splashed forever. At 11, I picked a dandelion, and all is yellow again, and I pluck a gray head, and you either love me or we have 9 children. At noon, the sun is in your eyes, and I have lived half a day. At 1, I close my eyes, but the sun won't go away. At 2, I know by now the wind, the sun, the flowers, and a yard too long on its own, and remembrance of bare feet, softly where green is my pillow. At 3, a fragrance, purple of you, comes the 100th time, and I clutch it, afraid of the flowers fading. At 4, I blow smoke rings and wear a gray second of time around my head. At 5, the horses again. At 7, I walk barefoot on the stones and let go the sighs I've kept caged. In a day of black phones, roses and horses, yellow, purple, and tulips. At 8, I know the wallpaper and the walls are real and sit thinking between them. At 9, I drink red wine till the barefoot grapes are drunk with memory and ancient leaves curl on my autumn coming. At 10, I dance, a final circle beyond the red buds, trip lightly else the stones hear my going. At 11, I am Adam. At 12, Eve, dear Eve, I rip out my rib cage where the frail bird flutters. The poem I want to read for you is called Milkweed. It's a sonnet. Tobacco's done, she said, holding brown hands above her head. I turned to see her standing alone by the fallen barn and smiled a rose of Sharon's smile. She in turn returned with petal lips red against her blushing face. I could not hold a touch that brushed her arm. It must have fed some spark to burn inside her eyes. For then the road, I leading past the trees, I alone watching her walk beyond where I could see or touch, down past where the milkweed filled the air, with fur white against the wind. Too much this standing, too full this watching, too late the milkweed fall of white and winter weight. It's a poem called Lilies. I have considered the lilies and how they grow, how their dark roots lie silent in the snow, winter bound and winter sleep, when the earth freezes hard and deep, and stones stealing time till spring has jarred them loose like howling wolves. Then they are horses running wild when summer comes and goes the wind way heavy with child. Lilith of the restless moon. The moon comes full on the meadow where wind and trees along the fence, shadows scatter silent beams on dew-soaked grass, the burden enough to leave green tongues hanging. Moving naked in the field, she gathers pollen to her breast, and gold on gold on gold, she rubs the lush love beyond the depths of skin and sucks the scream inward. Her hands find songs, her lips too damp to speak, and yet that cry sent backwards finds voice where sound begins. the silence moans like a rosebud trying to bloom. View of Damascus for India, and it sounds a little bit like that it's somebody looking at the place, Damascus, maybe India looking at the place. But India is the name of a young lady I knew who was the daughter of Alvin Tressel and Blossom Budney, two writers of children's stories, children's books. And they came to Murray, Kentucky in 1968, where I was teaching at the Jesse Stewart Creative Writing Workshop. Alvin and Budney came and taught children's stories that year. India at the time was 16 years old, but when she was a very young girl, probably 6 or 7 years old, she started following the horse Damascus, and she just fell in love with the horse and cut out newspaper articles every time she could find one and made scrapbook after scrapbook. Well, when they came to Murray from New England, they got to stop near Lexington, Kentucky in Fayette County and actually view the horse Damascus. So this poem is called View of Damascus for India. Cocoon wrapped, your eyes fold around perfect flying feet, clawing turf, claim more than sand or every brooding child's sense. Strangers to silence cover circles on circles. Centaurs wade rainbows of tracks beyond your eyes, wetting the earth with dark half-moons growing full. Layer on layer of time, black prints, deep and lonely. You fling each moment like star seeds where great lunar wings beyond the shell of gray wait the waking. Bursting and birthing, you rip apart the proud prison. Weep beyond weeping, clutch love dancing away forever night. At once torn toward no longer distant burning, where suddenly all soundless streams welcome the wings of your eyes, turning loose butterflies. The poem I'm reading from is called Inside the Dark, Warm Night. Out walking where the moon turns red, the hemlocks of the cliffs and rivers inside the dark, warm night, I feel silver wings torn by needles, the brown years pecking their mark, suddenly forever a blanket. Then stopping, all is silent, except the last memory. An echo dropped near the edge of the grass, the quietness of flakes and all the calmness of falling snow. No white sheet, but brown against the earth. In sleep, a warm rain compelled to fall. Too soon, the clouds of branches under the moon wave greetings to the night. I hear them call from somewhere beside my mind, outside the river's heart, and guessed it just as well I've heard while walking under broken needles' feet, the folding wings of the bird I meet. This one for you. I did not know the earth plush with leaves decaying under a tree fallen in love until there was you. I did not know dark leaves forever now in my dreams, rattling autumn multicolors until there was you. I did not know pain, blush deep in bird feathers, gathering out of season until there was you. I did not know the cage filled with fingers flying in love until there was you. Reading from my book, I Knew a Woman. Reading from my book, I Knew a Woman. Reading today from my book, I Knew a Woman, which in 1977, from my book, I Knew a Woman. Reading from my book. You don't want me doing it.